Good evening, gamers! Welcome back to Splat World Series REWOUND, where we stream the unstreamed matches from finals. I'm SharkBeret, and I'm joined by my co-commentator here, Brave. We got New Meta and Fall Stream coming up. New Meta was pretty on and off. They originated and got their run in Splatoon 2, came back in Splatoon 3, and they placed third in the first qualifier, barely missing that qualification. They were able to place second and secure their spot here.
Yeah, hi everyone. Like Shark said, I'm Brave. Very excited to commentate this match here on REWOUND. Of course, this set has already been played through, but regardless, we want to go ahead and highlight it. We got New Meta versus Fall Stream in winners the first round here. And I have not seen much of Isabel's gameplay, but I have heard the name a lot. So I'm quite excited to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm ready to see this. Museum is definitely one of those maps. It's definitely one of those maps that I have a love-hate relationship with, but I still very much Splatoon 1 fan at heart, so it's never going to be on my bad side.
Ink Brush on the side of New Meta.
As we hear again, Ko again being one of those stronger bucket players that we've seen in not only in bracket but just in comp in general.
Yeah, from the JP side of things, as awesome. And we have Shuma on Splash here, able to really just take the paint of the zone. That gives Fall Stream, he's in a very strong spot, and no one's really contesting it. Shuma just dashing around right now.
Three down.
And that
Three down on the side of New Meta. Able to, Fall Stream able to push them out pretty quickly and get a pretty early lead here.
We also have a Crab now able to be set up. There is a Vac, but that's not really going to do much, as False Dream is going to take heavy advantage here. They have the entire spinner. They haven't had any presence on the zone in terms of New Meta, like, trying any sort of aggressive. We do have a flank here with a hammer now, but the Brush is not finding a pick with that, and everyone knows that they are there, so they are in a bad spot. They are going to go down, and once again, Fall Stream just has this man advantage here. Ballpoint drops, try to get something done, does get one, as now it's only the pencil, and New Meta has the opportunity to get zone here.
New Meta able to take it back with, quite honestly, a pretty interesting comp, as they do believe this is the New Meta. We have V96 and Tetradualies, along with Ballpoint, trying to relive a little bit of that first early Splatoon 3 meta with Ballpoint. Again, able to get a pick here, down to 3v3. Strikes coming in means Fall Stream might be able to retake zone here.
Shuma rushing down A Snack, does not quite get the pick. A Snack going to be taking that 1v1, and that is almost a vacuum as well for New Meta. They don't have quite the man advantage, though. The Brush is going to, of course, be seen, as brushes typically are supposed to do, but in the 96 also going to go down means that they are going to have to find a different way to retake, but more are going down. Fall Stream just getting 2 picks right there off New Meta, and they are going to cap zone and have extreme advantage here.
And 3 down on the side of New Meta, and a jump out means they're going to have to full reset and try and push in with 2 specials. As the Crab comes out, Vac's able to counter it, forcing it to look left. Another Jet coming at Crab, not able to take it out. Again,
it's really
establishing really strong mid presence on that spinner. You're just not able to push it out, even though you push their specials.
Yeah, so looking like New Meta right now is having a very difficult time getting any defensive picks. They're kind of struggling and also getting picked off themselves, just maybe peeking that pencil, maybe just not unsure how this Japanese team is playing, but they are going to have a 3v3 situation here. They're going to have to get a cap here for penalty. They do, so that is going to give them a bit more chance in this game 1. Right now we got this Ballpoint. New Meta able to put some pressure out, but taken out by Ko, the bucket, as well as having all of top mid against Isabel. This is looking really good for Fall Stream.
And even though Ko gives up that vertical height, or gives up that height advantage, is still able to find the splat as the rest of the team comes in to support.
Yeah, and we've got strikes online from Fall Stream. They don't even need them right now. No one is able to pressure this zone at all. We have Takanoko making sure that Brush can't drop right, and they are having to go through Plat here. Somehow Shuma is behind them, gets the pick, is able to keep this zone neutralized as well, gets another at Isabel, a third for Shuma, and that looks like it's going to secure the game for Fall Stream.
Even though those strikes did come out a little early, it was enough to stop. Reef was not able to cap zone. That's going to secure Fall Stream game 1.
Yeah, that was a very, very strong showing. Of course, as the Seed 3, you would be expected to dominate the Seed 14, but wow, that was just such a strong, strong look from especially Ko and Shuma.
Again, one thing we're really seeing is you're really able, Fullstream is very, very much able to just lock new meta out here, as we see with not only specials, but even Vac not doing a whole lot for new meta, unfortunately. Strikes coming out, especially here, was enough to cap or hold zone, and the wipeout coming out, it definitely did not help new meta.
Yeah, no, somehow Shuma was just on plat behind them as they were vacking. They were able to get the pick there and then support for others. Of course, it didn't look like they quite touched. The Tetras did not get necessarily a triple, but they were there. And when the Tetras is shooting at a splash, just splat dashing around, it gives a lot of advantage to their other teammates to get that easy pick on that Tetras. And of course, it looks like they did.
Again, Fullstream playing a very, very clean game 1 and going into game 2 with new meta's pick, Wahoo World. You'll love to see it.
Yeah, this is not a meta map. They are trying to abuse their off-meta strengths against this pretty darn meta comp. We've got 2 midline Slayers, Splash and Pencil. How could you get much more meta than that? Looks like new meta opts to not.
Yeah,
Isabel gets that
on
pick.
the side of new meta, able to push in here with Vac. Actually, were able to get value out of it. Another pick coming out, 2v4.
Yeah, and it looks like they did not opt to jump in. We got Takenoko just going to grab Cooler here and not able to find any value. Does not decide to jump out, just decides to fight it out because, of course, they will be back fast and they still have missiles. They'll just be able to use that through spawn to help their team get in. We also have strikes on the side of Fullstream. Looks like we are popping both and going in fast and hard. They do get the cap off of that. Now they have to fight. And it looks like fighting an Inkjet versus a Vac, Crab, Inkjet, and Vac all on the field. And it looks like the Crab does go down from that, but we are in a 2v2 situation already.
And all specials coming out on both sides. Interesting play, but Vac was able to get a lot of value there, not only out of Strike, but also to protect the Jet.
Yeah, for sure. Like Crab and Jet 1v1, like Crab can shoot down that Jet potentially, but with that Vac just completely getting all of the shots, that they were able to shred that Crab and get that pick. Though they did overall still end up losing the team fight, but now it looks like we have 4 missiled, and with Fullstream in the advantage, they just need a pick or 2 to be able to really seal this game. However, the Splash Shuma is going to go down, and we have a vacuum in zone. That is going to be a recap for new meta.
Even with their recap, 2 down and strikes coming out means they're going to have to make another push. Even though they were able to flip zone and buy themselves a little bit more time, Jet coming out and struggling to get a splat as Wolbo takes it down.
That's going to be a wipeout for Fullstream. Everyone down on new meta, all from spawn. Of course, they don't have coolers, so no one has like any special, maximum of 50. And they're going to have to struggle to retake really quickly here. Penalty points counting down. We only have 13. Lulu does end up getting 1 with a bomb, but instantly being traded out. That's going to be a 3v3 now for new meta on a retake. They do have this vacuum into Crab, plus Reef is going to grant them a little bit of pressure, but not even a neutral until just now. They finally do get that recap, but going down is not going to spell great for a long-term push here.
Again, it's going to be really hard to establish longevity when you have missiles coming out, even though it's only coming out on one on the side of new meta. It's going to give Fullstream enough leverage to push in, but not before getting picked off.
Yeah, that solo missile on a backline, very tough in that situation. You want to be able to give your teammates jumps, but at the same time, you're a backline solo missile. It looks like right now we've got Lulu making a distraction. We do have this vacuum calling out to the teammate, look, they're here, I promise they're here, please pop your vac. And they do, they get that hammer pop, they get 2, they get 3, and it looks like it's just the pro from spawn plus the pencil. They're forced to drop, and that's going to be a very good recap for new meta. They have advantage to be able to push up, though the Jet does go down, but we are punishing at least the Slosher. No strikes is going to be good for new meta.
Trying really aggressive, Lulu playing very, very aggressively with Brush, able to get a couple picks here and there, but overall playing a very, very heavy dive.
And right now that Crab helping, they are now also responding with dive of their own. And it looks like they are going to get the pick on that Tetris as well. There's a jump that they're trying to punish. They do as well. That brush going down, and it's really just a ballpoint top right and a vacuum.
Vacuum comes out, but is it going to be enough? Is it going to get into zone in time? No, it's not, and that's going to secure False Dream 2-0 already going into Game 3.
Yeah, once again, in their scramble situations where both specials were being popped from both teams, False Dream just always came out on top, always had that strong presence just winning team fights, and even if they would lose individual ones due to multiple specials displacing, they always were able to come back, of course, faster because they have cooler, as well as like harder. They would always get their defensive picks when they needed to.
And very strong set played by False Dream, able to take New Meta out. Very, very strong set by False Dream, played very, very consistently with their specials, able to take New Meta out and able to advance.
Yeah, absolutely. That is the set, as this was a best of 3, and so pretty quick 2-0, pretty strong from False Dream there. They will be moving on to the next round. Meanwhile, New Meta has a loser's bracket that they have got to try and crush their way through. But Shark, it's been a pleasure commentating with you.
Been a pleasure.
Rather short set.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. That was False Dream versus New Meta. 2-0 for False Dream.
Short and sweet. Good night, gamers.